What's going on, Nerd Nation? This is Sleevecard signing in, and today, guys, we are going to be doing yet another Pokemon pack battle here on the channel. But before we open this pack of evolutions up and see what our team's going to be for today, I do want to let you know there are going to be a couple changes into today's video. Most notably is because we're doing evolutions, I thought instead of doing Sun and Moon OU, which we have done for the last two battles now, we would actually kick it old school and do, or not, almost said X and Y, but what I meant to say was red, blue, yellow. So do a little Gen 1 OU. And the other change is because we're doing Gen 1, I thought we would also give ourselves access to some of the evolved forms. Whereas in the past it's been, we get what we get and don't pitch a fit. So this way we will get access to the evolved forms today, just for today's video as like a trial run. The main reason for that is because, for those of you who don't remember, in red, blue, and yellow OU, speed is actually the big thing for critical hits and really staying competitive. So by giving ourselves access to some of the evolved forms, that way we have access to speed, which also impacts critical hits and damage and all that kind of stuff that really doesn't play the same role in later gens. So this is just to give us a little more of a, let's say, a competitive chance. Just a chance. Whoa, if I don't drop them. So let's rip open this pack of evolutions and see what our team today is going to be. As always, guys, the team, as we pull it, will appear down below, just to kind of speed the video along. So let's rip it open. Hopefully we get Mewtwo, because then we can use Gen 1 Amnesia Mewtwo, which is without a doubt the most broken, overpowered like Pokemon that I think has ever graced like video game battles. So we're gonna open this bad boy up. Oh. Set the code card. The code card. Almost sounded like I was had like a Boston accent there for a second. The code card. So set that to the side, and let's see what our team is going to be. So we have Misty's Determination as a little trainer card. We have Surfing Pikachu. Oddly enough, I'm going to take a second. So Surfing Pikachu is a secret rare. Last time, we were opening up the Magirna unboxing, I believe, last week, and this was actually on our wish list, was Surfing Pikachu. I don't do the wish list for the pack battles because I just want to open the pack, get the team, and kind of go. But we got Surfing Pikachu, so if you guys watch another unboxing, that's going to come off. We got Flying Pikachu in that video, but now we have Surfing and Flying Pikachu. So Pikachu, Magmar, Growlithe, a non-surfing Pikachu. I think to make it interesting, if we use Surfing Pikachu, let's make it so it's actually we'll use Surf. So I'll actually add Surf on it if we end up using Surfing Pikachu. We have our Psychic Energy. We have Charmander. So overall not too bad. You know, Raichu, Arcanine, a bunch of decent ones. Rattata, our Holofoil Voltorb, and we got Mewtwo, everybody. So we ended up getting Mewtwo, which will be amazing because now 100% Amnesia Mewtwo is coming to town. Of course, I guarantee you whoever we battle will have Amnesia Mewtwo too, because these are the most viable, the most overpowered, most overused really Pokemon in probably the history of Pokemon is Gen 1 Amnesia Mewtwo. But for once, we'll have it on our team. As opposed to having nothing but basic Pokemon getting killed by a bunch of evolved forms. So with that being said, guys, there's the team down below. Obviously, we're only using 6 of these, but there's the team that we're going to be building from. And when I see you in just a couple minutes, we are going to be taking on a challenger. So, guys, I will see you in just a second. Alright, guys, and we are back with the team all set up. So just to do a quick recap, kind of rundown for you guys. So first off, we do have our Mewtwo, kind of pulling off that classic Amnesia, Recover, Psychic, and Ice Beam set. Amnesia, of course, has to be on there to give it that 2x boost to special attack and special defense, which of course are all just special in this generation. Recover to help give it a little extra longevity. And then Psychic and Ice Beam are typically staples on it. Psychic, of course, being that powerful stab. And then Ice Beam is really useful in this generation because of the appearance of Executor on a lot of teams, the appearance of things like Zapdos on a lot of teams, things like that, where Ice Beam will definitely come through on things that, let's say, might get hit neutrally by Psychic. Next up, we have our Electrode rocking Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Explosion, and Screech. Not super usable as far as a competitive Pokemon for Electrode. The main things with Electrode are, one, this high speed bar, which you see right here where the mouse is going over. That high speed bar, of course, is the highest in all of Gen 1, so with critical hits and whatnot being linked directly to speed in this generation, I believe Electrode comes out with about a 30% chance of critting every single turn. So, and of course, we'll be able to hit first on every single turn, barring something like Agility or some other stat-boosting move. But the main thing is having that speed coming out. Maybe we can get a couple Thunder Waves off in key moments, paralyze a lot of the team. And then before, let's say, Electro goes down, we do have that Explosion option to hopefully take something down with it. Next up, we do have Charizard. Charizard is pulling off Fire Blast, Earthquake, Body Slam, and Swords Dance today. That moveset right there, again, is going to be good on taking out things like Executor, which is really big in this generation because of the way it, one, can use Stab Psychic, and can also kind of pair off with Mewtwo and kind of survive a lot of what Mewtwo can dish out. So, dealing with things like that Executor. What else? Jinx is really big in this generation, so Jinx is really big, as is... I was trying to think. There is a... I was going to say Slowbro is really big. Slowbro is big in this generation, but of course will not be taken out by a Fire Blast or Earthquake. But this will be good for handling Jinx, which is big, using Lovely Kiss to put things to sleep. Also Executor, things along that lines. Next up, we have Arcanine with Fire Blast, Body Slam, Hyper Beam, and Mimic. I went ahead and used Hyper Beam on this set because, of course, it is physical in this generation, as all normal moves are. But then we also went ahead for Mimic because Arcanine really doesn't have the most diverse move pool I've seen so far as Gen 1. Even Gen 2, I don't believe it gets that diverse of a move pool. But hopefully with the move Mimic, we can get something from one of the opponent's team and make it a little more useful, give it a little more versatility for the battle. Hyper Beam and Body Slam are obviously out because of, one, the attack power that Arcanine is going to show, and also that Hyper Beam does not have a recharge turn if it KOs something, so hopefully we can get a KO out of it. Don't worry about the recharge. Maybe even use Body Slam a couple times if we need to get paralysis. Next up, we have Raichu, and I went ahead and used the Surfing Pikachu that we talked about. So I am using Surfing Pikachu, which is now Surfing Raichu, using Surf, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, and Body Slam. So this is really nice. The Surf is going to be useful because every team, especially in OU, is going to be using some variety or variation of Rhydon or Golem. And that's just because, honestly, they're probably the most resistant Pokemon in the game. They're really good dealing with things like Chansey, which is also big in OU competitive. But using Raichu with Surf, hopefully we can lure out a Rhydon or something like that that thinks it's going to get a Stab Earthquake off, get an extra speed, and then surf it away and do some damage that way. Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, and Body Slam all kind of work the same in the sense that two of them are going to be able to deal some damage, but they all are going to give us a chance at paralysis, which of course is going to be very big in this game because speed directly correlates to critical hits. So if we can get more paralysis and things like that out, of course it's going to mean more critical hits, more damage, and we'll kind of gain a competitive edge that way by getting more more status inflicted. That's the word I was looking for, status. And finally, of course, we have Raticate rocking Super Fang, Body Slam, Bubble Beam, and Hyper Beam. So this one's a bit of, I don't want to say versatile because it is using 3 normal moves, but we are going to be able to use Bubble Beam out again for those Rhydon or Golems. Also, we will have Hyper Beam, which is pretty much the strongest normal attack in the game. And the second strongest pretty much being Body Slam. And then, of course, Super Fang, I did put that on there for a special reason. Super Fang does 50% damage to any the Pokemon it attacks, so it'll take away 50% HP. So I'm kind of hoping that if we can get Raticate out and possibly Super Fang the opposing Mewtwo, because there is 100% lock guarantee that there's going to be an opposing Mewtwo. But hopefully with that Super Fang coming out, let's say if we get it off on the opposing Mewtwo when they're trying to do things like recover or do things like set up amnesia, stuff like that, we'll be able to put enough pressure on that Mewtwo that we can kind of maybe pull it out, and then our Mewtwo and their Mewtwo can duke it out to the end. But with that being said, guys, there's the team. Now let's go ahead and step over here and see who our opponent is going to be today. So we're going to step over to Gen 1. Where is that? Gen 1 OU? I guess it's going to... No. This is really weird. Okay, so let us set up Gen 1 Ubers for a battle. But I don't see... I get Gen 1 random battle? No. Give me a second to figure this out, guys, and I will be right back. Alright, guys, so we're back. I was able to figure it out. Apparently, Gen 1 Ubers you can no longer do kind of randomly from the drop-down menu, so you can't take on a random challenger. However, I was going through the help like forum, the chat room, trying to figure out how we could play Ubers, and I did run across somebody who was able to explain it to me. So you go in and you have to actually challenge a specific user to a Gen 1 Ubers battle. Otherwise, you can only do random battle or OU. And I was actually able to find somebody that was willing to take us on for today's video. So thank you to Rhinoclops for definitely being able and being willing to help us out here. So we're going to go ahead and challenge Rhinoclops. He says he's played Ubers before. I just told him I was looking for an Ubers opponent. I did not explain to him kind of what we're doing as far as using a pack battle, so he's not sure, or as far as he's aware, we are running like a traditional Ubers team using Mewtwo, Chansey, you know, Rhyhorn, Rhydon, Golem, something along those lines. So he's not quite sure what we're using. So let's get started. So we are going to go ahead. Mewtwo comes out in Gen 1. They come out automatically. So Mewtwo comes out. They're sending out their Jinx as a lead. So I'm going to assume that he's going for a Lovely Kiss here because Jinx is pretty much a Lovely Kiss lead in this generation. I'll go ahead and swap out to Arcanine. We can't really afford Mewtwo to get Lovely Kissed or fall asleep. Yes, and so Jinx did go for the Lovely Kiss. I'm not sure. I don't want to risk. Too much, or as far as I don't want to risk like Mewtwo too much. But we're gonna go ahead for the Fire Blast. So they're bubble beaming us, which is super effective. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but hopefully we'll go for Fire Blast again. Maybe see if we wake up. So that does. So it does just under a third, so we can risk one more. I'll go for another Fire Blast. Still asleep. Bubble beamed. And I'm going to do it just to get rid of Arcanine. So this obviously is not the best start. Kind of killing off our Arcanine 5 turns in. But this way, I mean, we did lose Arcanine pretty quick there. But this way we can get. I'm going to be able to bring out Charizard. And hopefully do some damage here to Jinx without getting Lovely Kissed again. So we're going to hit Jinx with the Fire Blast. Oh, that's 73% damage. Jinx is putting us asleep again. So this is not good. So Charizard being asleep, I think what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and swap out to Raichu because it doesn't really matter, or it does matter, but with Charizard being asleep, it doesn't really matter that Charizard is asleep, and this way we can not have more people fall asleep. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Body Slam, maybe take Jinx out, if not paralyze it. Obviously, we're going to resist any Bubble Beam. Oh, so we got the crit. I mean, crits happen all the time in this generation, so it's not that odd. But we did get the crit, which is awesome. So I'm kind of assuming we're going to see a Rhydon or a Golem here. I would be very surprised if we saw anything else. And Flareon. Okay, so we are going to see something else. We're going to see Flareon, which is why we are packing Surf right here. So we're going to go for Surf. I'm going to assume, if I had to guess, they're going to go for like Fire Blast, Flamethrower, maybe Fire Spin. It just kind of depends. So they're going for Fire Spin to kind of try and trap us, because now we can't attack. In which case, I'm going to swap out to Raticate now. Because we can't attack with Fire Spin going on. But that'll bring out Raticate, who will take a little bit of damage. I'm going to go for the Bubble Beam. Even though we're stuck in Fire Spin, we can't really do anything. Click on that again. We're just going to have to kind of soak up the Fire Spins here. And we're going to go ahead and hit Flareon with the Bubble Beam. That'll bring out 21%. And they mimicked... What did they mimic? Oh no. So Flareon mimicked and now has Hyper Beam. So we know Hyper Beam, Bubble... In that case, I'm going to go ahead for our Hyper Beam. Hopefully we can take this out without having to worry about being Hyper Beamed or taking out ourselves. So we'll use our Hyper Beam, and it misses. Oh, but we do survive their Hyper Beam, so let's go ahead and hit again one more time. They're forced to recharge because they did not take us out. We took them out, in fact. So that was amazing. So we were able to take them out by surviving a Hyper Beam, which is new, because I don't think I've ever seen Eradicate survive a Hyper Beam, especially not Gen 1. So now we're going to see their Mewtwo. So we see their Mewtwo. They have 3 other Pokemon we're not sure about yet, whereas he knows pretty much our whole team except, I believe, Electrode. I'm going to go ahead for the Super Fang. And the reason I'm going to do Super Fang is I'm kind of predicting that he's going to go for Amnesia right here. And hopefully we outspeed. So he goes for the Amnesia. We're going to get the Super Fang off. That'll bring him down to half. There is no way. I mean, there's no way we're really going to outspeed Mewtwo. It's just not going to happen. So let's go ahead and try for... I'm going to go for the Body Slam, because on the off chance that we do get him, maybe we paralyze him. So he's going for the second Amnesia, because obviously he doesn't think that Raticate is a threat, and I'm assuming he's just going to... recover once he takes us out. So he's going to Thunderbolt us. So we know this one has Amnesia, Thunderbolt, and I'm going to assume Psychic and Recover as well. So almost like ours, but ours is rocking Ice Beam. So then, now we're going to go for Electrode. For one very simple reason. I'm just going to go ahead and click Explosion and see what happens. Either we're going to take out this Mewtwo, or we're at least going to force him to switch. In which case, if we do force a switch, then Mewtwo or the Explosion, which is going to take Executor out and take us out, which actually is not too bad, because Executor was going to be kind of a pain for us in the long run. I feel like next turn we're going to see Mewtwo come out, and Mewtwo is probably going to Amnesia. Or, I'm sorry, not Amnesia. It's probably going to Recover. So I am a little concerned about that. But let's send out Raichu. So this way, this Mewtwo, and I'm going to go for I'm going to go for Thunder Wave on this time. So let's go ahead and hit it with the Thunder Wave, get the paralysis, so that way even if it recovers, it's not going to be too bad. Like, hopefully we can outspeed. So, oddly enough, went for the Amnesia again. And we got the Paralyze. I'm not sure why you wouldn't go for the Recover in this situation. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get the Stab Thunderbolt out. See if we can't get some damage. Oh! And we take out Mewtwo! So the paralysis does matter in this generation, guys, because we just took out Mewtwo. Amazing. So we took out Mewtwo. Because of the paralysis, we were able to outspeed, beat the Recover that I'm assuming he was using, and take it out. Next, we're going to see Rhydon. This is why we're packing Surf. So I'm going to send out, or I'm going to go ahead and just click the Surf, because he doesn't have to worry about Thunder Wave, doesn't have to worry about Thunderbolts, and I'm just going to assume he's going to use Earthquake on us anyways. So he'll go for the Earthquake. That's super effective, takes us out, but we were able to bring him down to 2% with the Surf, and now it is time for our Mewtwo to shine. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot off an Ice Beam right here, take out that 2%, and kind of call it a day on that. That will take out Rhydon with the super effective Ice Beam. And now it is going to be our Sleepy Charizard, our full health Mewtwo against one last Pokemon. And then we'll have a win streak going because we'll be at 2 wins in a row. But I don't want to count my blessings before they... Or count my eggs before they hatch, count my blessings before they come, anything like that. Because Starmie, which just came out, is definitely still a threat. I'm going to go ahead and hit the Amnesia because Starmie, of course, is going to be a special attacker. Probably using Psychic, Ice Beam, Surf or Bubble Beam, something like that. It's good, but it's definitely going to be using some special attacks. So hopefully this way we can kind of build ourselves up with some of the special, or with some of the Amnesias. So with that Amnesia, an Ice Beam did a whopping 7% damage. Let me Amnesia again, just because I want to play it a little safe. Oh, come on. Amnesia again. We go for the Amnesia, bring it up to 3 times. He'll hit us with another Ice Beam. And now... Psychic's not going to do a lot. I'm going to go ahead and hit with our Ice Beam. I feel like he's going for Ice Beam because he's trying to chance the freeze. Because if he gets a freeze on us... I don't know if you know this, guys, but if you get a freeze in Gen 1, you can only be unfrozen by Haze and by... a Fire move. So, obviously, Starmie's not going to use a Fire move on us. And one more Ice Beam should be able to do it. But I can tell he's definitely trying to hit us with Ice Beams just to freeze us. And we take out the Starmie, and we have done it again. So that was amazing. Thank you to Rhinoclops if you are listening, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to make this video. And frankly, Magmar was much less of an enticing pick for Gen 1 than Mewtwo. So thank you out to Rhinoclops. Big shout out to you. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. If you were happy with our battle today, and hey, if you were happy with our pack draw today, go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me down below. If you want to take our relationship to the next level, hit that subscribe button. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. This is Sleevecard signing out. Have yourselves a beautiful day, and I will see you later.